Welcome to Superior Man, the channel dedicated to providing you with the knowledge, insight, and motivation you need to become the best version of yourself. Today's video is all about the 15 key differences between alpha and sigma males. By the end of this video, you'll better understand these two archetypes and how you can harness your potential as a superior man. When it comes to the world of masculinity, the terms alpha male and sigma male have been gaining popularity in recent years. While both types of men are often seen as dominant and successful, there are some significant differences between them that are worth exploring. In this video, we will examine the top 15 differences between alpha and sigma males and help you determine which type of man you are. What is an alpha male? An alpha male is someone who is highly confident, assertive, and typically at the top of the social hierarchy. They are often seen as the leaders in their group and are highly respected by those around them. Alpha males tend to be charismatic, competitive, and highly successful in their careers. What is a sigma male? A sigma male, on the other hand, is someone who is highly independent, self-sufficient, and highly adaptable. They don't conform to social norms or societal expectations and tend to be more focused on their personal goals than on social status. Sigma males tend to be introspective, analytical, and highly intelligent. We'll review some frequently asked questions, then jump into the key differences. Can someone be both an alpha male and a sigma male? While individuals can exhibit traits associated with both types, alpha and sigma males are generally seen as distinct personality types. Are sigma males less successful than alpha males? Not necessarily. Sigma males tend to have different priorities and goals than alpha males and may not be as interested in traditional measures of success like promotions or high salaries. How can someone determine if they are an alpha male or a sigma male? Examining your characteristics, priorities, and goals is the best way to determine which type you identify with. By answering questions about your social circle, confidence, leadership style, communication style, goals, approach to relationships, lifestyle, intelligence, adaptability, independence, a path to success, creativity, emotional intelligence, decision-making style, and risk-taking, you can get a better sense of which type you identify with. Can sigma males be successful in their careers? Absolutely. Sigma males tend to be highly intelligent, adaptable, and self-sufficient, making them highly effective in a wide range of careers. Can someone switch from being an alpha male to a sigma male? While it's unlikely that someone could completely switch from one type to another, it's possible for individuals to develop traits and characteristics associated with both types over time. As people grow and change, they may find that their priorities and goals shift and that they identify more strongly with one type than they did in the past. Are there any negative stereotypes associated with alpha or sigma males? Yes, both alpha and sigma males can be subject to negative stereotypes. Alpha males may be seen as overly aggressive or domineering, while sigma males may be seen as aloof or antisocial. However, it's important to remember that these stereotypes are not necessarily accurate or fair. Can women be alpha or sigma males? While the terms alpha male and sigma male are typically associated with men, women can exhibit traits associated with both types. However, alpha female and sigma female are not as commonly used. Are there any downsides to being an alpha or sigma male? Both types of men can experience downsides associated with their personality traits. Alpha males may struggle with maintaining relationships or experience burnout from high-stress lifestyles. Sigma males may struggle with social isolation or building relationships due to their highly independent nature. How can someone improve their self-awareness and personal growth? Enhancing self-awareness and personal growth can involve a wide range of strategies, from seeking therapy or counseling to pursuing hobbies or interests that bring fulfillment and joy. Journaling, meditation, and seeking out feedback from others can also be effective ways to develop greater self-awareness. Is it possible to be a combination of an alpha and sigma male? Yes, it's possible for individuals to exhibit traits associated with both types and to develop a unique blend of characteristics that suits their own goals and priorities. Difference number 1, social circle. One of the most significant differences between alpha and sigma males is their social circle. Alpha males tend to have a large social circle and are often the center of attention at social events. They enjoy being around people and thrive in social settings. On the other hand, sigma males tend to have a smaller, close-knit circle of friends. They are selective about who they spend their time with and tend to keep their personal life private. Difference number 2, confidence. Confidence is another key difference between alpha and sigma males. Alpha males tend to be highly confident and assertive, with a strong sense of self. They are not afraid to take risks and are often the first to speak up in a group setting. On the other hand, sigma males tend to be more introverted and reserved. They may not be as outspoken as alpha males, but they are still confident in their abilities and have a strong sense of self-worth. Difference number 3, leadership style. Leadership style is another area where alpha and sigma males differ. Alpha males are natural leaders and often take charge in group settings. They have a commanding presence and are highly respected by those around them. On the other hand, sigma males tend to be more independent and less interested in leading others. They may not seek leadership roles, but they are still highly capable and effective when in charge. Difference number 4, communication style. Communication style is another area where alpha and sigma males differ. Alpha males are skilled communicators with a confident and assertive speaking style. They can often take control of a conversation and persuade others to their point of view. On the other hand, sigma males tend to be more thoughtful and introspective in their communication style. They may not be as outgoing or outspoken as alpha males, but they are often skilled in expressing complex ideas and communicating with precision. Difference number 5, goals. Alpha males are highly goal-oriented and focused on achieving success in their careers. They are often driven by external recognition and thrive on competition. On the other hand, sigma males tend to be more internally motivated and focused on personal growth and development. They may have less interest in external recognition and prioritize personal fulfillment over traditional measures of success. Difference number 6, approach to relationships. In relationships, alpha males are highly assertive and dominant, often taking charge and setting the tone for the relationship. They may tend to be controlling and may not be as willing to compromise. On the other hand, sigma males tend to be more flexible and adaptable in their approach to relationships. They may be more inclined to compromise and prioritize mutual respect and understanding. Difference number 7, lifestyle. Alpha males are highly competitive and often prioritize their careers above all else. They may have a fast-paced lifestyle that includes frequent travel and social events. On the other hand, sigma males tend to be more focused on personal fulfillment and may prioritize a simpler, more introspective lifestyle. They may be more likely to enjoy solitary activities like reading or hiking rather than social events. Difference number 8, intelligence. Sigma males and alpha males tend to be highly intelligent, but they may approach intellectual pursuits differently. Alpha males may be more interested in traditional measures of intelligence, like academic achievements. At the same time, sigma males may be more interested in intellectual pursuits that are less formally recognized, like independent research or creative pursuits. Difference number 9, adaptability. One of the defining characteristics of sigma males is their adaptability. They tend to be highly self-sufficient and able to thrive in a wide range of environments. Alpha males, on the other hand, may be more rigid in their life approach and struggle to adapt to new situations or challenges. Difference number 10, independence. The most defining characteristic of sigma males is their independence. They tend to be highly self-sufficient and may not rely heavily on others for support or validation. Alpha males, on the other hand, may be more likely to seek external validation and support from others. Difference number 11, approach to success. While both alpha and sigma males are driven to succeed, they may approach success differently. Alpha males tend to be highly competitive and may be motivated by a desire to be the best and win at all costs. Sigma males is more focused on personal growth and development and may view success as a means to an end rather than an end in itself. Difference number 12, creativity. Alpha and sigma males can be highly creative, but they may express their creativity differently. Alpha males may be more likely to pursue creative endeavors that are recognized and rewarded by society, such as art or music. Sigma males, on the other hand, may be more likely to pursue creative endeavors that are less conventional, such as writing or inventing. Difference number 13, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is another area where alpha and sigma males may differ. Alpha males tend to be highly confident and assertive but may need to be more attuned to the emotions of others. Sigma males, on the other hand, tend to be more introspective and may have a greater capacity for empathy and emotional understanding. Difference number 14, decision-making style. In decision-making, alpha males tend to be highly decisive and may not hesitate to make bold, risky choices. They may have a strong sense of intuition and a high tolerance for risk. On the other hand, sigma males tend to be more analytical and may take a more measured, cautious approach to decision-making. Difference number 15, risk-taking. Alpha males are often associated with risk-taking and may thrive in high-pressure, high-stakes situations. They may be willing to take on challenges and risks that others are not. On the other hand, sigma males may be more risk-averse and prefer to take a more measured, cautious approach to life. Conclusion. As we've seen, there are many differences between alpha and sigma males, from their social circle to their approach to success. While both types of men can be highly successful, they may have different priorities, goals, and approaches to life. Whether you identify as an alpha male, a sigma male, or something in between, it's essential to understand your own strengths and weaknesses and work towards personal growth and fulfillment. Ultimately, what matters most is that we are true to ourselves, pursue our own goals and priorities, and strive to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. By cultivating self-awareness and focusing on our personal growth and fulfillment, we can become the best version of ourselves and find success and happiness in our own way. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more content. And most importantly, check out our other videos.